We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition.
For the first time in modern history, a sitting US president is openly asserting the right to run another country. From Mar-a-Lago, President Donald Trump says the United States has captured Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro, flown him to New York to face US charges, and will now oversee Venezuela until a transition is complete. Not through the United Nations, not through NATO, not through any international coalition. This is unilateral, executed by presidential order alone. It's not just another intervention, clearly. It is a direct challenge to the limits of executive power globally. It is a defining test of how much authority can be concentrated in a single office and what that means for the global power. Let's decode this. Now, here is what the White House says happened. US naval and air forces carried out a rapid operation off Venezuela's coast, detaining Maduro and removing him from the country. Trump then announced that Washington would temporarily manage Venezuela's transition, including stabilizing its oil sector, with US companies returning on the ground. He also made clear that American troops could follow if needed. Now, instead of immediately handing power to the Venezuelan opposition, the US is working, at least for now, with Maduro's vice president to keep the state functioning. That makes this regime change in practice without the language of regime change. To understand why this matters, you have to look at the presidency itself. Over the past 2 decades, US presidents have steadily expanded their ability to use force under emergency powers. Analysts argue Trump has taken this further, governing through permanent urgency, minimizing congressional debate, and treating national security as justification for speed over consent. Venezuela fits that model perfectly. Fast action, facts announced after the fact, and a framing built around instability, drugs, authoritarianism, and strategic resources. Zoom out, and this also fits Trump's revived version of the Americans. He has openly reasserted a modernized Monroe Doctrine, sometimes jokingly called the Donroe Doctrine, where the Western Hemisphere is treated as a US sphere of influence. Venezuela appears to be the test case, a message that Washington reserves the right to remove leaders and manage outcomes in its neighborhood. Venezuela holds the world's largest proven oil reserves, and Donald Trump has been explicit. He wants US companies back in and back in fast. But analysts say that this is not just about oil. It's about something much bigger. Energy, critical minerals, technology, all being pulled into a single US-led system designed to control the supply chains that power AI, defense, and advanced manufacturing. Now, here's the big question. Can one president rewire the entire global order? Not by himself, but he can change the rules everyone else is forced to react to. And that may be the real shift here. Because whether this ends in stability or fragmentation, the precedent is already set. If a US president decides the stakes are high enough, he acts first and worries about the rules later. Is that the defense of American interests or the dismantling of the system the US once built? Either way, this is no longer theoretical. This is the moment every capital, from Beijing to Brussels to Havana and New Delhi, is watching closely. Because once the rules bend this far, they become precedents. And every precedent has consequences.